The print, 3rd of February 2023, the Indus Water Treaty between India and Pakistan completely neglected the actual offender China. The 1960 Indus Water Treaty revision request from New Delhi to Islamabad could not have arrived at a worse moment for Pakistan, which is currently suffering from an economic crisis and sectarian murders. The treaty was a constant conflict between the two nations, particularly evident in Pakistan's violations. According to the terms of the Indus Water Treaty, IWT, India is in charge of the waters of the eastern rivers Beas, Ravi, and Sutlej, while Pakistan is in control of the waters of the western rivers Indus, Chenab, and Jhelum, which together account for 20% and 80% of the total amount of water carried by the Indus System, respectively. India should have been able to use the most water from the Indus River and Basin system, given its location and the population differential between it and Pakistan. India abided by the IWT's rules and avoided taking any actions that might be considered violations. Pakistan was probably concerned about two things. One was that, in the case of hostilities, India might use the Indus River system against Pakistan. The influence and legitimacy of India in comparison to Pakistan, which is, to put it mildly, the negative, is another problem for Pakistan. Nevertheless, Pakistan repeatedly filed complaints with the World Bank, which the treaty designates as the official arbitrator. In any of Islamabad's conflicts forced upon India, India never attempted to utilize water as a weapon. Islamabad has a point regarding India's credibility and ability to handle problems on a global scale. Nobody stopped Pakistan from acting responsibly and gaining the international community's confidence as opposed to becoming a failing state populated by mercenary terrorist organizations and a haven for non-state actors. 9 tributaries of the Indus River that flow through Afghanistan, India, Pakistan, and Tibet make up the Indus Basin, now under Chinese occupation. While the 1960 treaty only considers India and Pakistan, it is impossible to ignore China's actions in the Indus Basin. It's time to review the 1960 treaty. The British decided in 1892 that their preferred boundary for Kashmir was the Indus watershed, or the water parting from which waters flow into the Indus River system on one side and the Tarim Basin on the other, following a series of treaties, agreements, and border determination discussions with China, Tibet, and Russia. This water parting was located near the Karakoram Range in the north. Because the Chipchap, Galwan, and Changchenmo rivers drain into the Indus River. At the same time, the Karakash River emptied into the Tarim Basin, which was more problematic in the east. Victor Bruce, the Viceroy of India from 1894 to 1899, specified a boundary alignment at this water parting and conveyed it to London. India became involved in land and water disputes with Pakistan over Kashmir after the British-sponsored partition, as well as with China over the Aksa-i-Chin and Karakoram Range, as well as the lands surrounding Galwan and another river flow terrain in the Ladakh Valley. Ladakh and Pak have become crucial geographical areas in deciding how to resolve the water-sharing issues between India, Pakistan, and China. China and Pakistan have exploited their control over the Indus River's beginnings as a war weapon, although India has never done so. China can control the water flows to the lower riparian states because it is the upper riparian state of numerous transboundary riverine systems. China has not provided information on water discharge to India or other lower riparian nations. As the highest riparian of the 6-river Indus system, India and Pakistan signed a treaty in 1960 that made no mention of the territories that China had annexed or that Pakistan had given to China. In addition to rejecting equitable distribution, China has started large dam building projects in its seized region that may disrupt the Brahmaputra's flow. A study that anticipates the natural flow of the upper Mekong using data from satellites collected between 1992 and 2019 shows how China's construction of a series of dams on the river is changing its course. China has complete and unrestricted access to major river basins like the Indus, Brahmaputra, Yarlung Tsangpo in Tibet, Salween, Mekong, and Sutlej, which have an impact on India, Pakistan, Bhutan, Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, and Cambodia. China also controls Tibet, the water tower of Asia. Along with the Brahmaputra, China's dam-building operations significantly impact Indus and Sutlej water flow. Both the Indus and Sutlej rivers have seen the construction of Chinese dams and barrages. These include a storm across the Zada Gorge on the Sutlej River and hydroelectric plants on the Indus River's Sangate Tsangpo and Nagri Shikan rivers. The Gilgit-Baltistan region also builds the Basha and Bunji dams on the Indus River. These building projects have the potential to significantly disrupt the natural balance of the Himalayas, accelerate glacier melting, and alter river flow. The China Three Gorges Corporation will construct 5 dams known as the Indus River Cascade as part of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor using $50 billion in funding from China's National Energy Administration, CPEC. The unholy alliance between China and Pakistan through the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC, exposes new dimensions for the Indus Water Treaty. It significantly impacts the security and national interests of not only India but the entire region of South Asia, necessitating an urgent review of the 1960 agreement.